Remember, the phrase ambient intelligence is used to describe a system made up of networked IoT devices that is designed to collect real-time data about the environment and individuals within it. And that information is used to provide personalized services. The number and type of IoT devices are growing rapidly, and it is becoming increasingly hard to find a non-smart device in some categories. For example, TVs, which means that people are losing the ability to protect our privacy by opting out of participation in an IoT world. It is harder to choose privacy by voting with our wallets if there are non-smart devices to select. The devices themselves bring privacy risks. Ambient intelligence systems will capture an immense amount of information about the day-to-day life of every individual within the environment. This means there are many potential risks to privacy in terms of data collection, transmission, storage, and access. Collection. Most people are unaware of exactly what data is being collected and how it's being used. For example, they may understand their IoT thermostat is capturing temperature data, but not that it's also capturing IP addresses and geolocation data. Transmission. 90% of data transmissions for IoT devices are unencrypted, which leaves it vulnerable to being stolen and used for criminal purposes. For example, could someone infer that using unencrypted data that your home was a good robbery target? Why? Because the temperature has been lowered and the lights have been turned off in a different pattern than prior weeks. Storage. Data might be stored on a local device, or it might be transmitted elsewhere. If it isn't stored securely, then privacy can be compromised. Another privacy concern for data storage is retention policies. If there is no clear end of life for that data, then it would continue to exist and be connected to the individual, even if the device is discarded. Access. People need to know who has access to the data once it is collected and for what purpose. They gave access to the IoT device manufacturer, but that data might also be shared or sold without their knowledge. In a 2019 study of IoT privacy, 88% of the devices tested were sharing data with third parties. Data can also be repurposed. Another risk to privacy is the security of the devices themselves. IoT devices often are shipped with default passwords, few security features, no interface for device management, and no plan for automatic system updates. This means that users have little control over the privacy settings. If the devices aren't secure, someone could hack into the system and manipulate the environment to harm people. Surveillance and tracking risks. Privacy is at risk due to the proximity of the IoT devices. Some individual IoT devices don't begin monitoring until a wake word is used, but by design, ambient intelligence systems are always on. This creates the potential for continuous and close-up monitoring of people, activities, behaviors, speech, and even emotions. Passive listening means that the device remains always alert to you making a request, but that also means that it is essentially in constant surveillance mode, which could be misused. Portable devices, such as cell phones, can be used to track people's actions when out in public using Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. There is no way for an individual to know who is using that tracking data and how. Most people have expectations that their homes or cars are a private space. When they choose to add IoT systems to their environments, they might not be aware that they have made those environments more public, in the sense that data about them is being collected and that data is managed by someone else. And they've made that decision for everyone who enters the home or car. As the owner, they might be comfortable with the choice to have ambient intelligence, but guests may not be aware of the systems that are potentially invading their privacy. Now that's a lot to think about, and another reason why we must be vigilant when it comes to protecting and securing our data.